I wanted to lead off with your Believe and Achieve Foundation and for foster children. Discuss the inspiration behind that.
Well, when I was 12 years old, I myself was in foster care. My mom, she battled with alcoholism, and my stepfather, he died when I was 12 in 6th grade, and it almost kind of was for the better because growing up in a kind of abusive household, and alcohol is involved and all that stuff. So, I moved from a multicultural neighborhood to a neighborhood that was predominantly white, white middle class, and I moved in with a white family. Actually, Linda Welch, she's from England, so and her two sons, Danny Welch, excuse me, and Adam Welch, and Danny and I were classmates before I even lived with them. So, that's just to brief up my my childhood. I was supposed to be staying there for like 2 months, and 2 months turned into 6 years, and when I was 18, I left and went to Syracuse, and I always said if I ever, and of course I got drafted to the Tennessee Titans later in the first round when I was done with college, and I always said if I ever had the opportunity to give back, I would. And to me, it was a no-brainer, man. It's something that I had been through. It was something that was an issue then when I was 12, and probably even before that. Foster children, and it's an issue now, and it's just something that to bring awareness to those kids, because it's not those kids' fault that they're in the position that they're in.
Yes.
And my foundation actually gives them outlets. We do things before school. In September, we do a book bag drive, give like book bags and school supplies out to the kids. In October, a Halloween party. November, give out turkeys to the families. December, give out toys. So I try to do something every month, definitely during the season in Nashville, for the Middle Tennessee area. That's basically where it's focused. But I've been able to branch out and bring some things back to my home county of Rockland County, New York, and do some of the same things.
Wow, and and talk about the adjustment between Linda Welch and yourself, the adjustment to be able to trust each other, because it was a difficult transition.
Yeah,
right?
it was tough, man. I come from an area where my mom was not much supervision, and I kind of come and go as I pleased. And when you go into Miss Welch's household, they had a structure, and although I was 12, I had a mentality of a 15, 16-year-old, and so when I first moved in, it was kind of tough dealing with all the rules and all the different things that she had going on in her house that I had to be a part of, because now she's bringing me in her household, so now I'm part of their family. And at the end of the day, it definitely worked out. I got an opportunity to get my childhood.
Athletics definitely found you, and it's safe to say that football saved your life, right?
Yeah, I had always played sports. I always played. My grandmother, she put me in little league baseball when I was 7 years old. So I had always played baseball, and then I got introduced to basketball within that community, and also football. Football is something that I always wanted to do, and I wasn't allowed to really play because they played on Sundays. Pop Warner played on Sundays, and my grandmother had me going to Sunday school and church and all that stuff. So as soon as we stopped living with her, and we moved in with my mom's boyfriend permanently, I was able to, like I said, just do what I needed to do. And actually, the people in that community that I moved into, they were good people, because we didn't have necessarily the $85 for the football equipment and all those different things. So, a lot of kids' parents on the team might have put money together just so I could play on the team. I guess they need talent.
That's right. That's right. For sure. And then like being able to take that talent and cultivate it, which you did, and you established yourself as a leader very early. Being a 3-sport athlete. Point guard on your basketball team, shortstop, center field on your baseball team, and playing safety in your football team. So talk about like that leader, the determination that you had to be able to become the athlete that you wanted to become, even through your tough times.
Yeah, absolutely. Even when times was tough, like you figure when you're a kid, man, that's just your life. You don't realize how tough it is or how easy it is or what you have until you get older. So at those stages in my life, I was always looking forward to going to a practice and going to wherever I had to go. You know what I'm saying? As far as athletics was involved, and the leadership role just kind of, I guess that just kind of came as I matured and got better, and guys started looking at me as the guy on the team, and my whole drive was just to be better than the next guy. Whoever was the best, I wanted to be better than him, if not just as good. So I think that definitely drove me. And then kind of when I got to high school, I started to see these cats in my school like going to college, not playing sports, and I didn't necessarily know anything about that. My brother went to college, but he didn't play sports. So,
Okay.
It was one of those things when I saw that, I could really make something happen by doing this. I might have chilled out with like the little knucklehead stuff and just really, focused in about 9th, 10th grade. So.
And free education too,
Yeah,
being able to
and,
get that
at
degree.
the end of the day, it came down to, when you're in foster care, you have a choice. You can either age out, they call it, when you're done with when the state is done providing for you at either 18 or 21. And at the age of 12, I made a decision, that I wanted to be done at 18. I didn't want to be adopted. I had that option. I just didn't, like I told you, I had an older mentality, so I almost hated the fact that I had to live with another family. If it were up to me, I would have lived with my brother, who, at the time was probably 25, had a family of his own, and then I had another brother who was 20, and like we're all independent people. So if I would have had my choice at that time, I would have went and lived with them. But once you're in the award of the state, they're gonna make sure that you have the proper housing and all these different things. So it worked out because my brothers, they lived in the community, couple areas over, neighborhood couple areas over. So they definitely were a part of my success too.
And wow, and then talk about like how everyone, your closest friends from way back when you were young, talk about your loyalty. How important is loyalty to
loyalty is big. You learn that early. It's just like anything. Whether you're from Brooklyn or Rockland County, New York, you know what I'm saying? You learn loyalty early, and you're gonna know your running mates. You're gonna know the guys that regardless the situation, is gonna have your back. And I'm always someone that is gonna have my people's back. And matter of fact, I still have the same boys since I was 12 years old. One of my best friends is Adam Rodriguez from CSI Miami.
Oh, okay.
So, we all grew up together, and it's just crazy to see how, everybody rebounds off everybody, and, he'll holler at me for some advice about his work, you know what I mean? Not necessarily the acting part, but the business side, because, they have contracts as well and different things like that.
Right,
and,
right.
A couple of my other boys, they work on, Wall Street, which isn't doing too well right now. It's not their fault.
Right.
Marketing, and we just kind of all, found our own niche, and we just stayed tight. I feel loyalty is big within a family and within friends, because after 15, 20 years, those friends become your family.
That's right. And you weed out who are really your friends as the years go on. Definitely.